Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Today, I'm going to talk to you about another one is the practice of Buddhism. I received one text from Jimmy Christopher Bacon. He asked me, how to practice, how to set up the time, and he want to devote more time to the study Buddhism. So the way I teach him, I taught him, I said, first thing, he need to talk to his master Quang to help him, to get him on the basic education about Buddhism, having given him the books so he can have some glance to the panoramic view of the Buddhism. So what I tell him is the practice this way. Set up a routine. Make a balanced schedule of your time. When you practice Buddhism, you have to have a fun. You have to have a joy, enjoy it. Don't force yourself to do something like you have to do it, okay? And you make really strenuous efforts to study. No, make it very fun. Make one new routine activities. Like you play sport, you have to enjoy sport to play it. Like you study music, the same thing. To enjoy music to play an instrument. You ask on the player, on the achiever player, your music, they enjoy music. They practice it. And on the virtuoso, they say it, they practice for themselves. They play for themselves, enjoy it. So they do it for fun. So they do it. See, in Buddhism thing, I talked to Master Quang the other day, I said, what do you think about practice Buddhism? He said, he enjoy it. He benefit from the practice of Buddhism. That's a very good idea. That's a very good concept about you do something, you really enjoy it. You don't have to spend a lot of time to practice Buddhism. It's quality time, okay? Like you have 24 hours a day. You have some time to sleep. You're young. You sleep about 8, 7 hours a day. That's very necessary for your health. You need to eat. You need to play sport. You go to school. So study Buddhism. Put a little bit of time in that. Maybe 30 minutes a day. Maybe 45 minutes a day. Maybe 50 minutes a day. Quality time. But do it routinely. Do it every day. Make a good habit of that. Make a routine out of that. You enjoy it and do it. Buddhism is a wonderful study. You have to see the beauty of Buddhism. You study, you love it. In our tradition, it's a Mahayana. And our temple here, we follow the Tiandai school. We have a 10 school of Buddhism. One of the school is the Tiandai, okay? And our main sutra is the Lotus Sutra. Lotus Sutra, one of the most important sutra Buddha taught us near the end of his life. He taught the Lotus Sutra, the wonderful law. It's very good. It's a book about 28 chapters. Each chapter, Buddha teaches something. He wants to tell something. But the main teaching of the Lotus Sutra is to teach you have a Buddha nature. You have intrinsic self-value. You have the value. Some people, they believe it. You have to believe you are a valuable person. You are a very good person. So you can elevate yourself. You don't trust yourself. You don't see that I'm a valuable person. I'm a dignified person. You never can elevate yourself, okay? Like you said, I'm a good student, so you become a good student. You can study. But I said, no, I'm a bad student. You never can study. You have to have the idea you are a good student. You are dignified student. You study and you will get good education. You will be successful in your life. You like you said, I'm dignified member of society. You become a good citizen of the society, of the nation, and you contribute to the nation, and you contribute to the society, you contribute to the whole world. That's the concept that. So the Lotus Sutra is a wonderful sutra. You study it, do it a little bit. Maybe now it's a little bit difficult for you. You talk to your teacher, Master Quang, he guides you on the study of the Lotus Sutra. It's difficult. It's very high study. You don't have to do one chapter a day, maybe 1/4 a chapter a day, maybe 1/10 a chapter a day. It's up to you how many time. Go slowly. Try to understand, try to digest it, and assimilate it. After you assimilate it, you have the benefit of the study. Lotus Sutra is a wonderful sutra. Okay, wonderful sutra. You study it, and each chapter, Buddha teaches you something, but it takes time to understand it. Don't hurry, don't get in that. And the study Buddhism, when you first read it, it looks like a superficial, it's like you don't understand it. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, sometimes it's like a mythology, sometimes, it looks like not serious, but it's very serious. Buddha used a different way to teach it. He used a parable, he used a metaphor, he used analogy, he used a lot of things and to teach it. Because he teaches different level. You are very intelligent, you understand fast, that's the way he teaches you. You're average, he teaches you the way you understand. The people on a low level, he teaches you, they benefit. He wants to benefit everybody. His concept is one, like a rain, okay? He rain it, the big tree have some rain drop, the small tree have rain too. The grass and that have rain too. Everybody benefited. So Buddha is a very good teacher. He wants to benefit everybody. He have no discrimination. He didn't say, because you're smart, because Krishna is smart, I teach you. The other people are not smart, I don't care about teaching them. No, he cares about everybody. He loves everybody. So he teaches everybody, so everybody can benefit it. That's the way Buddha taught us. Okay? So be patient, study it, and study it. That's the only thing that benefit. When you see the beauty of Buddhism, you will study it and you will benefit it. And study Buddhism is very beneficial. What's beneficial? You practice it. You have, I talked to you about the meditation. Some people think meditation, you sit down, cross legs or lotus position, do something, and you pain yourself, do that. No, in that comfortable position, and practice it. You practice, you tame your mind, not your body. Some people tell, oh, I tame my body and my mind. Yeah, it's good. They have a good position, but it's not that mandatory. Okay, you can have walking meditation too, lying position too. The main thing about meditation, practice mindfulness. Be very, very mindful. When you develop mindfulness, you have a concentration. Concentration is very good for your study and become very focused. Like the student, they go to school like you, okay? They don't practice Buddhism. It takes them a long time to study, maybe 10 times to study. You practice Buddhism, you stand only 1 hour. You benefit more than the kids, they spend 10 hours because they didn't concentrate it. When they study, they think about different things. They think about game, they think about something, about girlfriend, about something. They cannot concentrate. But when you practice Buddhism, you concentrate, you focus very well. So you benefited. So that's the fringe benefit of practicing Buddhism. concentration. And concentration, you develop wisdom. Okay? So it's very difficult, very good to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness, everything you do, okay? For example, you take a bath, you mindfulness, why you take a bath? To clean myself. Clean myself, that's the way to think that I clean myself outside and inside and become a good person, a better person. I clean myself and make myself better. I improve myself daily. So you see, oh, you go to the bathroom, you relieve yourself. Oh, I reject something bad from out of my body. I eat good food, I inhale good air, clean air. I make myself better. I become healthier. I become a better person. So everything you do, you think about that. Okay? Like you close the door. I didn't make noise. I didn't bother my father, he's resting. I didn't bother my mother. I didn't bother my young brother, he's studying. So you're mindful. Everything you do mindful. Okay? You do very mindful. So practice mindfulness. That's the main thing about meditation. Okay? So practice Buddhism make you become mindful, make you thinking. Just do it for the sake of doing. No, I do understand what doing. You cook, I cook carefully. My mother teach me how to cook. I practice the right way. I cook with love. I cook for my mother, for my father, for my young brother. So have a good food to eat. I learned the technique from her. I cook carefully. When I cook, I don't talk on the phone. I pay attention. I don't burn the food. I don't make a fire. It burned the house. It burned off the house. I have one lady, when I was in Alabama, the time I was in Alabama, her husband is a doctor too. He's an old doctor. Okay? She's an old woman. She cooked and she talked. She burned the whole house, burned the house. And he's all ready. He cannot build another house. He's too old. He told me, a time, he said, my wife, she burned up our house. There's no way I can make money to have another house. So he said, because she's not mindful. When she cooked, instead of concentrating cooking, she talking, and burn off the whole house. Okay? So mindfulness, extremely important. Okay? You do it, and you benefit from the practice. Enjoy it. Enjoy the practice. You're very lucky to be a student of your master. He guides you, and you study Buddhism. You go the right way, okay? The good way, and benefit yourself, help yourself, and then turn around, help your family, your loved one, help your friends, everybody, so they can understand Buddhism. Maybe they can benefit from your study, okay? That's the fringe benefit of practicing Buddhism. Practice with devotion. Devotion and practice is better than practice for the heck of practice. No, practice with devotion. Okay? Like I talked to your master, Master Quang. I said, try to be very good monk. That's the only thing you have to do. The title of things, that means nothing. The key thing is be a good monk. Okay? Be a good monk. That's all we have to do. Okay? And I want him to be a good monk. Okay? Because he'll take my place in the future. Okay? Not too long. And he have to be a good monk. I do everything to help him directly, indirectly, so he become a very good monk. So he take over and he help the other people. Some people, they ask you, why you become a monk? Some Tibetan monk, I said, I become a monk because I want to be Buddha. Some people, this guy, he's arrogant. He said, he's not arrogant. He's very sincere. He said, I want to be Buddha. That way I can help the people to become Buddha themselves. Okay? I don't want to become Buddha. I get in the throne, people bow to me. No. I could become a Buddha. That means I'm an awakened person. I want to all the people to be awakened like me. Okay? So he said, I want to be a Buddha so I can serve. So when the 6 patriarchs okay, of the Zen tradition. He comes from a poor family. He's uneducated. He come to see the fifth patriarch. The fifth patriarch, what do you come here for? Oh, I come here so you can train me, teach me, so I can become Buddha. So people thought, this guy is illiterate, and he had nothing. He said he wanted to become Buddha, but he's very sincere. And the fifth patriarch see it. So he knows that he's a very good student. Later on, he gave his place to the six patriarchs, and even one monk, he's very intelligent, very dedicated. He's the head of the temple. He didn't give to him because he knows that one, he's not as good as the illiterate one, the one he practiced with devotion. He knows that that's the right one. Okay? It's amazing. It's amazing. He knows it. He knows that that's the right one. It's my right student. Okay? So that's the practice of Buddhism. You look at, you young, you practice, it's the blessing. Buddha say this one, to be born as a human being is a blessing. Because human being, we have a potential, have a capability to elevate yourself, to make yourself better. Animal, the intelligent, they don't have that potential. They don't have that capability. Okay? The dolphin, the intelligent, they stay there. The chimpanzee, the intelligent, stay there. The gorillas, they stay there. The dog, the cat, they stay there. They cannot elevate themselves. Only human being, you can do it. We are blessing. Okay? And another thing too, the second blessing, you meet the Dharma, you meet the Buddhism, you practice. That's a wonderful religion. The religion you can help yourself, help the other people. Don't say that the other religions, they are not good. When I was young, I go Catholic school. I admire them too. I admire the Christianity because it's a very good thing. Many good things I admire from the Christianity, Catholicism. But I think I'm lucky. I met Buddhism. I practice that. When I was young, I almost convert myself to Catholicism because I love one teacher. He's a father, they call it brother. His name Brother Boniface. He helped me. I go to school very late. I went to school, I start school at age 11. But he teach me in 1 year. I had went in 6th grade. I start that, and at the end of the year, I go to middle school already. I started, and I finished high school at age 17. I go to college. So without him, I never could do that way. Because he loved me, and he made me study. He helped me to study. He made me love to study. So I love him so much. So I almost convert to Catholicism. My father, he said, no, you're the oldest son of the family, and we are Buddhist, so you take me out of the school. He send me to the French school. So I go to French school. So that time I chanted. Sometimes I'm lucky. But because the love of my teacher, the brother Boniface, I almost become a Catholic. Okay? So I say to them that. So the practice is extremely important. You're very lucky. You are blessed. Do it. Do it. The benefit. Buddha say this one, help yourself first and help the other people. Okay? You help yourself, you elevate yourself. Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. After you get it, you help the other people. Because the practice of Buddhism is to help the other people, to serve the other people. It's not chanting, it's not meditating, it's not bowing, it's not studying. Service the other people. That's the practice of Buddhism. Okay? I like admire the elder Quang Minh, Leon Bryan. I admire him because he serves people. He do a lot of things he do to the temple. He bleed, he break his bone, he give money to the temple. Not for his name. He never tell anybody, I did that, he did that. No, he did it because the love of Buddhism, because he want to serve, okay? Like one a big statue, he used money to pay that statue. I never asked him, he did it. He retired already. He didn't have much money like before, but he did out of love of Buddhism. It's wonderful, wonderful to do it. Okay, that's the way the people they understand. They want to serve it. Okay, and he stayed with him. After I died, after he died, something behind. It's Leon Bryan, Quang Minh stay there. People don't know it, but it's there. It's his legacy. He part of the building, okay, like the building new shrine. Without him, we cannot build it. I didn't have a time. Master Quang Chi didn't have a time. We didn't have a know-how either. He had a lot of experience in building. He helped. He watched it. He supervised the people to build it. A lot of help. So I tell a lot of people, without Quang Minh Leon, we cannot build the shrine. Because we have to somebody there to watch it, to supervise, to watch that they do, okay? You cannot 100% leave to them because it's not they are not dishonest, but they want to make money. They want to cut corner. They want to do something for themselves, but have somebody to watch it, do the right way. So we have a nice shrine, nice building is due to him. Okay, it's him. So yeah, I said, you have a lot of merit. I tell him, Quang Minh, Leon Bryan, you spread the seed of the field of merit. You have a lot of merit. And that's the only thing he did. He know it. And I know it. Everybody know it. It's admirable. Okay? So you do it. You see a lot of people, they do it. I hope that you understand that. Maybe all the young people, all the practitioners, they know it. They recognize you youth, you devotion, you practice it. Make a routine, make it good. Benefit your family, okay? It's impressive. You bring your mother to come to practice, father. That's wonderful. That's the best way to be pious, the filial piety. They set the way to be pious, not to give money to your father, your mother, do something. The one you bring them so they practice Buddhism. They benefit like you do. That's the great, great benefit. That's the great service. The great way you're pious to your mother. Okay? You pious mother, you bring her to the temple with you. That's the nice thing to do. That's the very good son. Okay? That's one I talked to you today, the practice. I hope that I give some idea, and if you have any question, I will answer your question. Okay? If I have no question, we transfer the merit and we go chanting. We chant the chapter 25 today. Why you chant the chapter 25 today? It's Avalokitesvara. Sometimes they call he, sometimes call he or she. But in our tradition, in the Vietnamese tradition, Chinese tradition, we believe she, because the mother represents love. You know your mother. She loves her children more than anything. Okay? The mother is a symbol of love. Okay? They sacrifice for their family, for their children, out of compassion. And Avalokitesvara, she's the lady. So we represent her as a lady. We chant the chapter 25 because the country, we have a lot of pandemic now, a lot of people dying, almost 400,000 people still have more cases going on. We pray for everybody. Hopefully the pandemic will go down and go away and become safer. So we pray. and we have a new president, better president, maybe he care. Maybe he have a program to speed up the vaccination, to speed up on the preventive things, so make our country safer. So we pray for everybody, pray for the world. Because not only the pandemic hurt our country, hurt all the country too. And they have to be safe so we can be safe. If they are not safe, we are not safe. Because they come here, they bring the disease to us. If we are safe, we are vaccinated. The people from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from Mexico, they come, we get the disease. They overwhelm our defense system, and we get sick, we die. Okay? So we pray. We chant the chapter 25 today. So hopefully we can do it with just our love to them, our compassion. Hopefully we bring something. Okay? Namo Sakya Moni Buddha. Namo Sakya Moni Buddha. Namo Sakya Moni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplished today, you want to transfer to everybody and wish them the alignment. Inviting the bell.
Speech and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home.
Incense offering in
Gratitude we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth hers, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetful and realize our true home.
opening verse. The
Incense in the censer now is burning. Dharma realm in every place auspicious, appearing our sincere intention, thus fulfilling as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy, Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattvas.
Verses from bowing, we bow together. Home
To the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and sagely Sangha, throughout the Dharma realm and the realm of empty space, and 3 periods of time.
Home to the
fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha Maitreya, honor future Buddha Manjushri, great wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the Jig Mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate bliss, Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, earth store great vow Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great pure seed Bodhisattvas.
sit down. Great compassion mantra. The great compassion mantra has 1,000 hands, 1,000 unrolling relatives. Namo
Ratnatrayaya Namo Harya Avalokitesvaraya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Om Savanavati Sudanasasya Namaskritva Namanarya Avalokiteshvaranantava Namo Nilakanta Shri Mahapatashami Sarvadata Shubham Ashiyom Sarvasat Mobhayamabatetu Taryatha Om Avalokalokate Kalati Ishiri Mahabodhisattva Savo Savo Mara Mara Mashi Mashi Ridayo Guru Guru Gamyan Doro Doro Bashati Mahabashati Dara Dara Dirini Shvaraya Jala Jala Mahabamara Murhelehi Bashin Balashari Basha Basnin Barashaya Holo Holo Pra Holo Holo Shri Sara Sara Siri Siri Soro Soro Bodhaya 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 Maitreya Nilakanta Risharana Vayamane Swaha Sitaya Swaha Mahasitaya Swaha Sitaya Ye Shvaraya Swaha Nilakante Swaha Pranila Swaha Shisamahokaya Swaha Sarva Mahahataya Swaha Chakrahasaya Swaha Padma Keshaya Swaha Nilakantam Pantaraya Swaha Mofori Shankaraya Swaha Namo Ratnatrayaya Namo Harya Avalokite Shavaraya Swaha Om Sedyanto Mandrapataya Swaha. Is bringing morning light and concentration. My heart is at peace. A half smile is born on my lips. This is a new day, and I vow to go through in mindfulness. The sun of wisdom has risen, shining in every direction. Noble Sangha, diligently bring your mind into meditation. Namo Shakyamonaye Bodhaya. Namo Shakyamonaye Bodhaya. Namo Shakyamonaye Bodhaya. The universal gateway of the Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds. Namo Sutra of the Lotus of the Wonderful Law. Namo Sutra of the Lotus of the Wonderful. Namo Sutra of the Lotus of the Wonderful Law. Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva, inexhaustible intent, immediately rose from his seat, bared his right shoulder, pressed his palms together, and facing the Buddha spoke these words: "World honored one, this Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds. Why is he called perceiver of the world sounds?" The Buddha said to Bodhisattva, inexhaustible intent, good man, suppose there are immeasurable hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions living beings who are undergoing various trials and suffering. If they hear of this Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and single-minded call his name, then at once he will perceive the sound of their voices, and they will all gain deliverance from their trials. If something fast to the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sound, should enter a great fire, the fire could not burn him. This would come about because of Bodhisattva's authority and supernatural power. If one were washed up by a great flood and call upon his name, one would immediately immediately find himself in a shallow. Suppose there are 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000 living beings who seeking for gold, silver, lapis lazuli, seashell, agate, coral, amber, pearls, and other treasures set out on the great sea, and so fierce wind should blow their ship off course, and it drifted to the land of the Rakshas demons.
Those people, there is even one who calls the name of Bodhisattva,
Perceiver of the world sounds.
Those people will be delivered from their
Troubles with the Rakshas. This is why he is called perceiver of the world sounds. If a person who faces in threat of attack should call the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and the swords and staves wielded by his attack would instantly shatter into so many pieces, and he would be delivered, though yakshas and rakshas to fill all the 1,000,000,000 full world should try to come and torment up. If they hear him calling the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and these evil demons will not even be able to look at him with their evil eyes, much less to him harm. Suppose in a place filled with all the evil bandits of the 1,000,000,000 full world, there is a merchant leader who is guiding a band of merchants carrying valuable treasures over a steep and dangerous road, and that one man shouts out, "Good men, do not be afraid. You must single-mindedly call on the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds. This Bodhisattva can grant fearlessness to living beings. If you call his name, you will be delivered from these evil-hearted bandits." When the band of merchants hear this, they all together raise their voices, saying, "Hail to the Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds," and because they call his name, they are at once able to deliverance and inexhaustible intent, the authority and supernatural power of the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, perceiver of the world sounds, are as mighty as this. If there should be living beings, but numerous lusts and cravings, let them think with constant reverence of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and they can shed their
desire. If they have
think with constant reverence of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and they can shed their. If they have great ignorance and stupidity, let them think with constant reverence of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and they can themselves of stupidity and inexhaustible intent. The Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, possesses great authority and supernatural powers, as I have described. For this reason, living beings should constantly keep the thought of him in mind. If a woman wishes to give birth to a male child, she should offer obeisance and alms to Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and then she will bear a son blessed with merit, virtue. She wishes to bear a daughter, she will bear one with all the marks of comeliness, one who in the past planted the roots of virtue and is loved and respected by many persons. Inexhaustible intent, the Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, has power to do all this. If there are living beings who pay respect to Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, their good fortune will not be fleeting or vain. Therefore, living beings should all accept and uphold the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, sounds inexhaustible, intent. Suppose there is a person who accepts and upholds a name, ni bodhisattvas, as there are sands in 62 million Ganges, and for as long as his present body lasts, he offers them in the form of food and drink, clothing, bedding, and medicines. What is your opinion? Should this good gain many benefits, or would he not? Inexhaustible intent replied, they would be very many. World honored one, the Buddha said, suppose also person who accepts and upholds the name of Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, sounds, and can the good fortune pained by these two persons would be exactly equal and without difference. For 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000 kalpas, it would never be exhausted, run out, inexhaustible intent. If one accepts and upholds the name of Sattva, perceiver of the world, sounds, he will gain the benefit of merit and virtue that is as immeasurable and boundless as this Bodhisattva. Inexhaustible intent said to the Buddha, world honored one, Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, does he come and go in the Saha world? How does he preach the law for the sake of living beings? How does he apply in this case? The Buddha said to Bodhisattva, inexhaustible intent, good man, if there are living beings land who need someone in the body of a Buddha in order to be saved, Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, sounds, immediately manifests himself in a Buddha body and preaches the law for them. If they need someone in a Pratyeka Buddha's body in order to be saved, immediately manifests a Pratyeka Buddha's body and preaches the law for them. If they need a voice hearer to be saved, immediately he becomes a voice hearer and preaches the law for them. If they need immediately he becomes King Brahma and preaches the law for them. If they need the Lord Chakra to be saved, immediately he becomes the Lord Chakra, preaches the law for them. If they need the heavenly being freedom to be saved, immediately he becomes a heavenly being and preaches the law for them. If they need a great general of heaven to be saved, immediately he becomes a great general of heaven and preaches the law. If they need a protector to be saved, immediately he becomes protector and preaches the law for them. If they need a petty king to be saved, immediately becomes a petty king and preaches the law for them. If they need a rich man to be saved, immediately he becomes a rich man and preaches the law. If they need a householder to be saved, immediately he becomes a householder and preaches the law for them. If they need a chief minister to be saved, immediately he becomes a chief minister and preaches the law for them. If they need a Brahmin to be saved, immediately he becomes a Brahmin and preaches the law. If they need a monk, a nun, a layman believer, or a laywoman believer and preaches the law for them. If they need the wife of a rich man, of a householder, a Sir or a Brahmin to be saved, immediately he becomes those wives and preaches the law. If they need a young boy or a young girl and preaches the law for them. If they need a heavenly being, a dragon, a yaksha, a gandharva, an asura, a garuda, a kimnara, a mahura, being to be saved, immediately he becomes all of these and preaches the law for for them if they need a Vajra, bearing God and preaches Allah for them. Inexhaustible intent, this Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, succeeded in acquiring benefits such as these, and taking on a variety of different forms, goes about among the land, saving living beings for this reason. When the others should single-mindedly offer alms to Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, sense can bestow fearlessness on those who are in fearful pressing difficult circumstances. That is why in the Saha world everyone calls him bestower of fearlessness, Bodhisattva. Exhaustible intent said to the Buddha, world honored one, now I must offer alms to Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, and he took from his necklace adorned with numerous precious gems worth 100 or 1,000 pieces of gold, and presented it to the Bodhisattva, saying, Sir, precious gems as a gift in the Dharma. At the time, Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sons, was unwilling to accept the gift. Inexhaustible intent spoke once more to Bodhisattva of the world sound, saying, Sir, out of compassion for us, please accept this necklace. And the Buddha said to Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sounds, out of compassion for this Bodhisattva, inexhaustible intent, and for the four kinds of believers, the heavenly kings, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, maho, human and non-human beings, you should accept this necklace. Thereupon the of the world sounds, having compassion for the four kinds of believers and the heavenly beings, dragons, human and non-human beings, and the accepted the necklace, and dividing it into two parts, presented one part to Shakyamuni Buddha, and presented the other to the of the Buddha. Many treasures, the Buddha said, inexhaustible intent, these are the four exercise supernatural powers that Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world sons, displays in his comings and goings in the Saha world. At the time, Bodhisattva, exhaustible intent, posed this question in verse form. World honored one replied with wonderful features, I now ask you once again, for what reason that Buddha's son is named Bodhisattva, perceiver of the that with wonderful features reply to inexhaustible intent and verse. Listen to the actions of the perceiver of sounds, how aptly he responds in various quarters. His vast oath is deep as the kalpas past, but it remains unfathomable. He has attended many thousands and millions of Buddhas, setting forth his great. I will describe him in outline for you. Listen to his name, observe his body, bear him in mind, not passing the time vainly, for he the pains of existence. Suppose someone should conceive a wish to harm you, should push you into a great pit of fire. Think on the power of that perceiver, and the pit of fire will change into a pond. If you should be cast adrift on the vast ocean, menaced by dragons, fish, and various demons, think on the power of that perceiver. Suppose you are on the peak of Mount Sumeru when someone pushes you off. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and you will hang in midair like the sun. Suppose you are pursued by evil who wish to throw you down from a diamond mountain. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and they cannot. Suppose you are surrounded by evil-hearted bandits, each brandishing a knife to wound you. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and at once all will be passion. Suppose you encounter trouble with the king's law, face punishment, about to forfeit your life. Think on the power of that perceiver of the executioner's sword will be broken to bits. Suppose you are imprisoned in cage, unlock hands and feet, bound by fetters, and on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and they will fall off, leaving you free. Suppose with curses and various poisonous should try to injure you, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and the injury will rebound upon the originator. Suppose you encounter evil rakshas, poison dragons, and various. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and then none of them will dare to harm you. If evil beasts should encircle you, their sharp fangs and claws inspiring terror. The power of that perceiver of sounds, and they will scamper away in boundless retreat. If lizards, snakes, vipers, scorpions threaten you with poison breath that sears like flame, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and flee of themselves. If clouds should bring thunder and lightning strike, if hell pelts or drenching rain comes down, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and at that moment they will vanish away. If living beings encounter weariness or immeasurable suffering pressing them down, the power of the perceiver of sounds, wonderful wisdom can save them from the sufferings of. He is endowed with transcendental powers and widely practices the expedient means of wisdom throughout the lands in the Tendai. There is no region where he does not manifest himself in many different kinds of evils. In the realms of hell, hungry spirits or beasts, the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death, all these he bit by bit wipes out. He of the pure gaze, the gaze of great and encompassing wisdom, the gaze of pity, the gaze of compassion. Constantly we implore, constantly look up in reverence. His pure life, free of blemish, is a sun of wisdom, dispelling all darknesses. He can quell the wind and fire of misfortune, and every to the world the precepts from his compassionate body shake us like thunder. The wonder of his pitying mind is like a great cloud. He sends down the sweet dew, the Dharma, quench the flames of earthly desires. When lawsuits bring you before the officials, when terrified in the midst of. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and hatred in all its forms will be dispelled. Of the world sounds, Brahma sound, the Sitai sound, they surpass those sounds of the world. Therefore you should constantly think on them from thought to thought, never entertaining doubt. Perceiver of the world sounds, pure sage to those in suffering, in danger of death. He can offer aid and support, endowed with all benefits. He views living beings with compassion. The sea of his accumulated blessings is immeasurable. Therefore you should bow your head to him. At the time the Bodhisattva earth holder immediately rose from bends and said to the Buddha, world honored one, if there are living beings who hear this chapter on Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world, sounds on the freedom of his act, manifestation of a universal gateway in his transcendental powers, it should be known that the benefits these are not few. When the Buddha preached this chapter on the universal gateway, a multitude of 84,000 persons in the assembly all conceived the determination to attain the unparalleled state of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi.
The Bodhisattva
Avalokita, while moving in the deep course of perfect understanding, shed light on the five skandhas and found them equally empty. After this penetration, he overcame ill being. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is not other. Emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formation, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore in emptiness there is neither form nor feelings, no mental formations nor consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object, no realms of elements, no interdependent origins, and no extinction of them, no ill-being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The Bodhisattvas, ground in perfect understanding, find no obstacles for their minds, having no obstacles they fear, liberating themselves forever from illusion and realizing all Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at full right and universal enlightenment. That perfect understanding is the highest mantra, the unequaled mantra, the destroyer of ill-being. Corruptible truth, a mantra, prajna paramita, should therefore be proclaimed. Gate, gate, para, samgate, bodhi, swaha, gate, para, samgate, bodhi, swaha, gate, para, samgate, bodhi, swaha.
Invoking the Bodhisattva's name, we invoke
your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the suffering of. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and hope. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will so attentively that we will be able to hear what the other person is saying and also what is being left on. We know that just by listening deeply, we already alleviate a great deal of pain and suffering in the other person.
Now we bow together, the three refuges. I take
refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness.
dwelling in
The refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty in the world. Dwelling in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light thus supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction.
taking
Refuge in the Buddha in myself. I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakening. Realizing the mind of love, I take refuge in the Dharma. In myself, I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities, to embrace all beings and support their transformation.
Sharing together. Reciting
The sutras, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefits without limits. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along